Welcome to Golden Storytime. Day's story is about love, regret, and the lessons we often learn too late. It's called The Empty Chair, a father's last lesson. So, sit back and let your heart feel this story. Part 1. The Busy Son. Once, there was a man named Arif, a successful businessman. He was always busy meetings, calls, and deadlines. His father, Mr. Karim, lived alone in a small village, waiting for his son to visit. But Arif rarely found time. Every time his father called, he would say, "Baba, I promise I'll visit next month." Next month never came. Part 2. The Missed Moments. Years passed. The father grew older, weaker. Still, he kept an empty chair beside him every evening, hoping his son would finally sit there one day. Neighbors asked, "Why do you keep that chair, Karim?" He smiled, "That's my son's chair. He'll come soon." Part 3. The unexpected call. One morning, Arif received a phone call that froze his heart. His father was in the hospital. He dropped everything and rushed home. Part 4. The Final Goodbye. When Arif entered the hospital room, Arif held his father's trembling hand, crying. His father's eyes lit up with peace and tears. "Arif, you came," he whispered. Arif held his father's trembling hand, crying, "I'm sorry, Baba. I should have come sooner." The old man smiled weakly and said, "I kept your chair ready every day. I kept your chair ready every day." Part 5. The Empty Chair. Back home, Arif walked into his father's house. The chair was still there, clean, waiting, untouched. He sat in it and whispered, "Baba, I'm finally here." Tears rolled down as he realized that success meant nothing without time for the people we love. Part 6. The lesson from that day. Arif never missed a single family gathering again. He learned that love isn't shown by gifts or money, but by presence and time. Welcome to Golden Storytime. Today's story is about love, regret, and the lessons we often learn too late. It's called The Empty Chair, a father's last lesson. So, sit back and let your heart feel. In a bustling city lived a young man named Alex. He was ambitious, driven, and saw success as the ultimate prize. His days were a whirlwind of meetings, deadlines, and climbing the corporate ladder. His father, a retired carpenter with kind eyes and hands weathered by a lifetime of work, lived quietly in their small hometown. Every Sunday, without fail, his father would call. "Son," he'd say, his voice warm with hope, "when are you coming home? Your mother and I miss you. There's an empty chair at the dinner table with your name on it." Alex would always have an excuse. "Dad, I'm so busy. This project is huge." Or, "I can't get away right now. Maybe next month?" He loved his parents. He truly did. But he believed that building a successful future was the best way to honor them. He promised himself he'd make it up to them once he reached the top. He'd buy them a bigger house, take them on a fancy vacation. For now, work had to come first. Family time could wait. Success, he thought, was the real measure of a good son. The years flew by. Alex's career soared. He got the promotions, the corner office, the respect of his peers. He had everything he thought he wanted. The Sunday calls from his father continued, though his voice grew a little weaker each time. "The chair is still here waiting for you, son," he'd say gently. And Alex, caught in his world of achievement, would offer the same promises. "Soon, Dad. I promise, soon." He didn't notice the growing silence on the other end of the line, the unasked questions, the quiet resignation. He was so focused on building a future that he was neglecting the present, where his most precious treasures were. One Tuesday morning, the phone rang. It wasn't his father, it was his mother, her voice trembling. Alex, you need to come home. Your father, he's gone. The words hit Alex like a physical blow. The world he had so meticulously built suddenly shattered. He rushed home, his heart pounding with a dread he had never known. The journey felt like an eternity. Every mile a reminder of the miles he hadn't been willing to travel before. He was finally going home, but it was too late. He was going home to say goodbye. When he walked into his childhood home, everything was just as he remembered, yet completely different. The air was thick with grief. His mother, looking older and more fragile than he'd ever seen her, hugged him tightly, and then he saw it. In the corner of the dining room, there was the old wooden table, and at the head of it, an empty chair. His father's chair. It wasn't just an empty piece of furniture. It was a monument to his neglect, a symbol of all the missed dinners, the unheard stories, the unanswered calls. The regret was a crushing weight, a cost far greater than any business deal he had ever made. He finally understood. Regret is the heavy price we pay for neglect. His mother led him to his father's study. On the desk was a small, worn-out notebook. It was his father's journal. With trembling hands, Alex opened it. The last entry was written just a few days before. It read, "Another Sunday." I called Alex. He's doing so well. I'm so proud. But my heart aches to see him. I just hope he knows that no matter how busy he is, or how far he goes, his father will never, ever stop waiting for him. My only wish is to see him sitting in his chair at our table one last time. Tears streamed down Alex's face as he read the words. His father had never been angry, never demanding. He had just been waiting, with the unconditional, patient love only a parent can have. Alex finally understood. Love isn't about grand gestures in the distant future. It's not about the money you can provide or the success you can achieve. It's about being present. It's about showing up. It's in the shared meals, the simple conversations, the reassuring presence. He had told his parents he loved them, but he hadn't shown them. He had kept them at a distance, saving them for a someday that would never come. His father's love was in every call, in every patient "I understand," in the constant, unwavering hope that his son would come home. Love has to be an action, a priority. It must be shown, not just spoken. Alex stayed home for weeks, helping his mother, sharing stories, and finally, truly listening. He sat in his own empty chair at the dinner table, the one that had waited for him for so long. But the other chair, his father's chair, remained empty. It was a permanent void, a silent teacher. It taught him the most painful lesson of his life. Some opportunities, once lost, are gone forever. Some chairs, once empty, can never be filled again. The success he had chased so relentlessly felt hollow now, a poor substitute for the time he could never get back. He realized that his father's last lesson wasn't in his words, but in his absence. It was a lesson taught by that empty chair. It screamed a truth he had been too busy to hear. Family is not a distraction from our goals. It is the heart of our journey. The greatest success is not what you build for yourself, but the love you share with the people who matter most. Alex's life changed after that. He didn't abandon his career, but he recentered his world. He made time. He was present for his mother, for his friends, for himself. He learned that the richest moments in life are not found in boardrooms, but around a dinner table, surrounded by the people you love. He carried the image of the empty chair in his heart, not as a source of guilt, but as a guiding star, a constant reminder to cherish the present, to show his love in every way he could, every single day, because he knew, with a certainty that chilled him to the bone, that some chairs remain empty forever. Thank you for joining us for this story on Golden Storytime. It's a powerful reminder for all of us to hold our loved ones close. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that makes you think and feel. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and cherish your moments.